The embankment and foreshore of the River Thames in London is a very attractive place. It has better landscapes, better architecture and more history than anywhere else in London. Spatially, it's like being in a valley with views of mountains. And it's full of surprise, like the crypt of a cathedral or the cogwheels you find behind the face of a mechanical clock. So it's great that, slowly but surely, Londoners are reclaiming the banks and shores of their river. The embankments enjoy a flow of pedestrians. The water has more pleasure boats each year. The foreshore, very gradually, is being brought back into use. It attracts the curious. It attracts sun lovers. It attracts the adventurous. It attracts the brave. It attracts treasure hunters who hope to find Roman coins. And it attracts birds. But despite its increasing use, the availability of public stairs with access to the foreshore has been in decline for 3 centuries. In 1700, the banks of the Thames were lined with stairs. They were used by watermen who operated what we might call water taxis. By 1800, competition from coaches had reduced the trade. By 1900, there was much more competition, from new bridges, from improved roads, and from trains. Then, throughout the 20th century, the authorities discouraged public use of the foreshore and did nothing to improve its amenities for people, for plants, or for animals. Only 7 of the public stairs shown on the 1746 map and picked out in red survive and are open to the public. Matthew Lyons, a London historian, wrote that, "I have lived in London almost all my life, but it was only relatively recently that I came across for the first time a set of steps down to the northern foreshore. Most access is chained off or inhibited, with warnings and threats. It's hard to convey the sense of excitement I felt, nervously climbing down the wet stone stairs and out for the first time onto the river's shore in the heart of the old city." Another big change in the 20th century was the cleaning of the river water. It's still brown, but that's mud. Industrial pollution has stopped. So has sewage pollution, except when stormwater drains are overloaded. So the next step is a great programme of habitat creation, beach improvement, and the protection of the foreshore archaeology. The legal status of the foreshore is approximately as follows. The Normans in 1066 brought the whole of England into royal ownership by right of conquest. William then granted land to his subjects through the feudal system. The rest of England remained crown property. This included the intertidal zone, but no title to the foreshore was registered in the next millennium. The land simply belonged to the crown. The public had access for commercial and recreational purposes, fishing, washing clothes, boating, bathing, etc. Londoners still have a right of way over the foreshore, but, like other common law rights, it is documented only when disputed in the courts. In 1908, the foreshore of the Thames was transferred from the Crown to the Port of London Authority. The PLA may think it could deny public access, but with the survival of public stairs, and with legions of Londoners willing to testify in court that they have enjoyed public access for more than 20 years, the case would surely be dismissed. The PLA is primarily a port authority, but also has significant environmental responsibilities. Under the Harbours Act of 1964, Section 48A, it has a general responsibility to take account in the exercise of its functions of fauna, flora, archaeology, geology, etc. Under the EU Habitats Directive, adopted by the UK in 1994, the PLA has duties to ensure biodiversity, to conserve habitats, and to take measures to restore to favourable conservation status natural habitats and species of European importance. The Thames was a great natural habitat when it became Crown property in 1066. It can't be fully restored because the channel is so much narrower, but there is a great deal that landscape architects could do to improve its habitats and to improve its beaches for public use. Here is a section of semi-natural riverbank near Thamesmead, and here is a nearby section as improved by river engineers. Which do you prefer? There are good examples of habitat creation on Bugsby's Reach and on Battersea Reach. So, we need a landscape study to determine where habitat restoration could take place. The Thames in London is an amenity for pleasure boats, but also for fauna, flora and all beach users. Central London is no longer a port for national or international trade. That role has gone to Tilbury.